One of the most popular luxury car brands in the world is Audi. However, to put it mildly, the German brand's roots are convoluted and colorful. Every vehicle manufacturer's name has a history. Technically, the Wanderer Company, which eventually became a part of Audi, formed Audi way back in 1885. However, August Horch founded a Horch Cie in Cologne in 1899, and in 1904 he went on to found the August Horch Cie Audiwerke AG. This didn't last long, though, and in 1909 Horch quit Motorwagenwerke to start his own business, August Horch Automobilwerke GmbH. You may have observed that the names of all these companies sound remarkably similar, as his previous employer undoubtedly did. The Supreme Court agreed to their lawsuit against Horch for trademark infringement. After that, Horch had to give his business a new name. How did he travel to Audi, then? Horch is really spelt Audi in Latin, which means to listen. Audi was thus established. Audi Automobilwerke GmbH Zwickau was formally established in April 1910. It was known as Audiwerke AG Zwickau starting in 1915. The enterprise was naturally situated in Zwickau, which is in the state of Saxony. The Audi Type A sport phaeton, as we now know it, was the company's first automobile. The Type B, its replacement, was also introduced in that year. Both had great success, especially in athletic competitions. In the Austrian Alpine run, Horch had guided his group to 3 straight triumphs. Horch left Audi in 1920 to accept a prominent post in the Ministry of Transportation, but during his brief tenure there, he established the company's reputation on a global scale. Shortly after he left, Audi produced the Audi Type K, the first left-hand drive vehicle made by a German automaker. This took over in the 1920s because it improved drivers' visibility of incoming vehicles. This thus made overtaking simpler and safer. The combined efforts of 4 businesses is how the Audi logo was created. Jürgen Rasmussen, an engineer, bought the bulk of Audi's shares in 1928. Soon after, the business combined with Horch, a former rival of Audi, Rasmussen's DKW, Wanderer, and the 4 interconnected rings were produced as a result of the merging. Funny enough, you may have also noted that this symbol resembled the Olympic rings. In 1995, the Olympic Committee finally decided to sue them as a result of their behavior. The outcome was as expected. The court determined that the Olympic rings and the Audi rings were unrelated. The 2 logos coexist thus peacefully. After the new collaboration was established, Audi's focus shifted to technology, which has since remained essential to the brand's identity. Audi was the first European automaker to introduce a 6-cylinder, front-wheel drive model in the early years of the Auto Union. The front of the Audi. But it didn't take long for attention to shift to the German war effort. The company started building armored vehicles for the military. Naturally, this made them top targets for Allied bombing, and this had a negative impact on output. After the war, Audi discovered that the Auto Union was no longer a viable organization and that its Zwickau factory was located deep inside the GDR, which had Soviet influences. Under Soviet military instructions, the factories were demolished as part of the war reparations. Germany's Auto Union was virtually destroyed when Auto Union AG was removed from the business register in August 1948. That wasn't the end, of course. The Auto Union leadership considered moving what remained of the business to West Germany, where they established a spare parts facility operation in Bavaria. It's interesting to note that the Zwickau factory resumed assembly in 1949 and produced vehicles for East Germany. This plant is where the Trabant was produced. The Trabant was revered as a representation of East Germany and the dissolution of the Soviet Union. East Germany was incredibly desirable, noisy, slow, and uncomfortable. More than 10 years passed while people waited for the Trabant. These were made in excess of 3 million.